I'm a bit embarrassed to show you this, but this right here is what my network closet used to look like. I had a compact vertical wall rack, and then at the bottom the UniFi toolless rack, and in between a bunch of cables and who knows what's going on there. But in this video, I want to show you what I did to consolidate all of my network gear into a single open frame network rack right there. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Bogdan Chperny, founder of Apex YNT, and we remotely design and deploy UniFi solutions, which is kind of why I had for a very long time a big mess of cables with my own network gear, because I'm kind of busy, designing very nice setups for clients, don't have time to do it for myself, until now, of course. So the issue we have here is that all my network gear is inside this closet, which means that the net gear is already getting pretty hot. It's running hot, it's enclosed. It's actually leaking into the room, making my office hot as well. And so now I actually have even 2 fans installed up there that's pumping the hot air out of the closet and into the hallway. But before we go on with the build, if you need a UniFi solution designed for you, see the link down below in the video description. I can also help review your UniFi design and see if there's anything that you might want to change or you have overlooked. So I picked up this Tech Mojo open frame rack. You can tell it comes in a very thin box, so we do need to assemble it. Okay, awesome. We have their template again, and these are 16 on center, but we'll get to that in a minute about mounting this guy. So we do have a instruction manual, and the one we have is a 12U, so our height is about 24.1 inches, 15.8 inch depth, and 19.9 inch width, which is one of the benefits of going with just a open frame. It's much smaller. If you're going with a cabinet, there's going to be added depth, there's going to be added width. I mean, this is only 0.9 inches wider than the actual equipment going in here. Okay, so let's see how long this takes us to assemble this guy. M6 screws and wrench for assembly. And then these look like basically for mounting some equipment. So if you want to use their hardware, you can do that as well. Okay, so these are labeled. Okay, these 2 side pieces, they're basically the same. You install the pieces the same and then you just flip one over. And for this front panel, you can actually decide if you want to use the square cage nuts here, which is pretty typical, or these pre-tapped screws on this side. And it can go in either direction. Typically, you'll go with the square cage nuts. Looks like they give you just enough screws to finish this correctly. I like to torque things down lightly first and then come back and torque it all the way, just to make sure everything fits well. Let's kind of eyeball it. Ah, that looks good. The only thing I don't like is that it's black. I think because I'm going all UniFi in here, and I'm also gonna have like a Mac Mini. It's gonna look, it matches the same silvers down here actually, if you can see that. So I think we'll paint this at least white or maybe a silver. I think I might try to find a silver to make it match the UniFi gear and kind of like the toolless UniFi rack. And then that should look pretty nice, and then I won't regret not getting a white cabinet because there are no white open frame racks. So I guess we gotta paint it. This is Rust-Oleum metallic. Now it doesn't have the color in here, what they call matte nickel. Okay. All right, so I have it painted. The rack looks real nice. I'll show you that in a second. But first, you kind of need to decide how you're going to mount this guy. So we have in our instructions, they actually have mounting points, not just for 16-inch studs on center, but also 18-inch, which is nice to have. So if you have that, either of those will work for you. It provides you these mounting screws right here. So 4 of them. Okay, so you could use these, but this is if you're not using any backboard. Honestly, I think it's a little bit short. Like if you're going on drywall, I really wouldn't go through that. I think these are too short for that. I think it's only if you're going directly into studs, nothing in between. If you're going into plywood, that's already mounted, you can definitely use these as well. Now in my case, I already know that I kind of have a giant wall right here. So not just a single stud, it's something like 8 inches across. And then I don't have a stud for a while here until the corner of the wall and all the way out here, right? There's my stud, and see something weird going on here. So it's not great that they're so close. Again, so they're about right here. So one stud going down here and here. So I am going to use my, I need a backer board here for sure, and wood screws on both of these studs. Now again, it's not great because it's only like, 8 inches apart It doesn't span like your normal 16-inch or 24. So I'll just point out, if you only had one stud, maybe like this, and you're trying to mount your plywood, your backer board, you know, you can combine methods. Like you use the wood screw here and then the toggle bolts, right, somewhere else through your drywall, and that will also work. By the way, I'm referring to my old mounting guide that I made just because to make this a lot faster when you're mounting. So if you pop that open, and I'll have it linked for you in the description. So here we're starting with drywall and wood studs, right? Now our studs don't align exactly with the mounting points on the rack. So we need to go with 3/4 inch plywood. Can we use 2 studs? I'm just gonna say yes. I'll assume those 2 studs nearby will work. I'm going to use these wood screws here, right? So these ones that I call out. Again, like I said though, if you only have one stud, you can do the other ones, the other side on drywall with something like this, with these toggle bolt plastic, with the plastic strap anchors. So I cut my piece to 2 by 3 foot, right? So it's gonna sit something like that, right? And the rack is something about 24 by 24 inch, even less actually, like 19-inch wide. So I'll mount it up top, and then at the bottom here I'll have room to mount, you know, maybe a modem if I need to, or that ONT right there. Because this area is kind of pretty tight that I'm working with, I am going to, or I had to whip out my laser here for this. All right, so then we'll grab our template, which is quite nice. Again, they designed them to be the exact size of the rack. So as you can see, right, our backboard here was 24 inches, or is 24 inches. This is like 19 or something. Okay, so I'm marking here the top of where the screw will actually sit, right? Not this part right here. Okay, so following the same guide here, we did our plywood is mounted. Now we're going to mount the rack. So we have our 5/16 inch lag screws right here. Pre-drilled 13/64. Okay. Actually, I got a new little screwdriver here, so I'm gonna see if it's strong enough to drive these. No, it's definitely not. Okay. All right, look at this guy. Let's see. Nice. That one was a little too tight. Yeah, this guy wobbles a bit, but we'll secure it down. But this looks pretty good. Tech Mojo, sorry you can't see your logo anymore, but you should make one in silver just like this. So I'm starting out with the heaviest device, of course, the UPS. So just mounting that straight to the bottom, and then I need to, you know, add in the rack gears, since most of my devices were in a UniFi toolless rack, which is kind of the benefit, right? You can install those quite quickly. But I do need those. And you might notice here, I don't have cage nuts, or at least not traditional ones. I have these UniFi snap mounts that they call precision kits. Precision mounting, they used to call it. So I guess they're kind of easier to install. They come with, you know, one piece that you snap in top and bottom for one new device. But they don't necessarily really help you too much with the precision, is what I know, because all devices you install still have slots and they can still move left and right. So you still have to do that, but I guess it is easier to install them. You don't maybe hurt your fingers as bad. And then the brush panel, that's maybe the one piece that you might have trouble with, because you can't just put in the 3-prong cable right through it. Like for the UniFi devices, you can use the other side of the cable that plugs in, and that can actually work, no problem, fits through there. And then for those angled ones, you kind of have to force them, bend the aluminum a little bit in the middle before you install and feed those through. Then it works fine. This is the final look of the rack elevation. I'll show you maybe an image right here. This is, what the plan was. I think we had slight deviation. Let me just walk you through maybe from bottom to up. So we have the UPS 2U, okay, so the original UniFi 2U UPS. And you can see it sits in here quite fine, reaches all the way back there. There's plenty of room there. But really, I'm only using one plug because this is the PDU Pro, right? So all the outlets here are controllable. Each individual, they can automatically power cycle, like the fiber ONT here. I can see the wattage. I think I'm using like something right now like 250 watts, okay, live. And there's also four USB-C ports that we can use. And so you'll see the PDU Pro is quite shallow, right? It doesn't go deep at all, but that's basically plugged in to the UPS. And actually I should mention, because this is a closet, I did have to add an outlet here. That's this white cable running to the back. Then we have the UNAS Pro, so that also takes up another 2U right here. Now from the PDU Pro up here, this is where all these power cables are running through, and some Ethernet cables and DACs right here. This is just a brush plate, also from UniFi. As you can tell, I mean, the paint, kind of the paint job on this open frame rack, I would say ended up quite nicely. I mean, it matches very well. There's maybe a little bit less kind of shimmer on the one I painted, but anyways, and then we move on to the UNVR, right? So that's what's running Protect and Door Access Control. And then the main kind of brains behind this is the UDM Pro Max. So for me, this is plenty. You know, I could put like a UDM Beast in here, but that's way overkill for me, at least at this point. And so I have everything connected with DACs from, because my main switch here, right? So that's next, the USW Pro Max 24 PoE. So it does have, you know, at least 1 gigabit PoE plus ports, and then it changes to PoE plus plus, and then to 2.5 gig plus plus, right? And then it only has 2 SFP plus ports, which is why I also had to use the SFP ports on my UDM for the NAS. And the other DAC is going to the UNVR. So of course we have a patch panel, and then this is actually a Starlink coming in here. I should show you on the side here. It's not the cleanest for sure, but my cables are coming in through an interior wall up into the attic, but that's decent. Then I have some pull string because I'm still going to be pulling a lot of cable. So I want to make sure this is accessible. And look how nice. We have a patch panel right here. It's really nice to reach everything back there. And this right here is, by the way, the UNVR, the UDM Pro, USW Pro Max, and you see there's kind of, you know, still plenty of space. I think this UNAS Pro 8 is probably the deepest device that I have, and that's still plenty. I think actually this technically has more room than the UniFi 12U Slim Rack. And then I have a Mac Mini. This is just for content editing, video editing basically, and the Optiplex 3080s. And of course I got a nice UniFi finish to make it all match nicely. And then this is the cantilever shelf from UniFi as well. Then back here, that's the temperature probe for the fans that you saw earlier that pump the air out right there. And then the environmental sensor from UniFi. Now this guy is, you know, it's wireless, it's battery powered, and that's magnetic actually. So kind of can place it anywhere I want. And then if we go all the way down here, that's the SuperLink gateway, the fiber ONT. Now I do have like Starlink going into the back, and also there's like a coax hanging out here, but I don't have canceled my service for that for now. I just don't need that. You're probably thinking what in the world is this? And unfortunately that's because I'm still running a Synology NAS as my main NAS. So eventually I will move everything over to a UNAS, but these are kind of dangling here. And then this guy as well is pretty embarrassing, but this runs to my switch at my desk. So it's kind of ugly because it's just running throughout the office on the ground, on the floor. So eventually I need to run that through some, drop that through interior wall. The only one thing, you know, after installing this that I would probably change, I do have a good air gap between the USW, the switch here, and the UDM Pro, but this UNVR also gets hot, and so it would be kind of nice if there was a gap here. So I think I might bring it down and place it above the UNAS. I'm not sure, something like that I might do. I do wish the UNAS Pro, well, I just don't need 7 bays. If I had like the UNAS Pro 4, there was only 1 U, that would be nice, but it would be too deep. It just wouldn't fit into this rack. And then finally you're thinking, man, Bogdan, why is this UniFi toolless rack? I thought you got rid of it. Well, I need to migrate that Synology, and then I think I'm basically going to leave this to test UniFi gear, right? New gear that comes in. This will be a sweet spot to pop it in, test it, and so it doesn't mess up my production rack here, which I really need running 24/7. Now again, if this network rack wasn't going into a closet just on the wall, then I would have went with something like a rack cabinet, enclosed rack cabinet, like the UniFi 12U Slim Rack, most likely. It already looks really good. You know, you don't have to paint it. It comes with fans built into it, so you don't have to be too afraid of things getting too hot. And it actually comes pre-assembled, so you just take it out of the box and you can already mount it. Now, if you are considering that rack, make sure you watch my video on it here, just so you know what to expect before you purchase. And as always, if this video was helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe. And if you would have done something differently here, please let me know. I'll probably fix it by the next time I record like an update on my network rack. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Take care.